Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you are doing great. I've got another story about a food processing plant that is closing and a long list of plants that have been destroyed. I want you guys to check out this article in the description below, okay? So without further ado, here we go. It's entitled "Another Food Processing Plant Shutters Operations, Adding to Long List of Closures." It says a top food producing plant will be closing down one of its facilities in Campbell County, Tennessee, adding to the long list of closures over the last years. After the last year, sorry. It's like some screaming kid in the background. It's like a little velociraptor. Sorry, George's Prepared Foods announced its chicken processing plant in the small town of Caryville would be shuttering operations by the end of summer. The reason for the closure was not disclosed and has caught local officials by surprise. Campbell County Mayor E.L. Morton told local news WVLT that he's trying to keep the plant open to save hundreds of jobs. Now, he does actually disclose what is going on here in a second. He says, and I quote, "I've contacted the Tennessee Economic and Community Development staff to request assistance in keeping the plant open or facilitating a sale to another operator. I have requested the Governor Lee's assistance as well. My primary concern is for the welfare of the dedicated workers who have been the backbone of this operation. Our prayers go out to them as well as our very best efforts to keep them employed in Campbell County." It says, the senior vice president of George's Foods, Robert George, released a statement about the closure, citing it's a challenging time to be in the prepared foods business, and we have been carefully evaluating how we navigate the volatility in beef and pork markets. Now, I'm going to stop real quick here and say that is a very interesting statement he said, because we've talked about this before. As these prices rise, what happens is your margins get squeezed because you're trying as a company owner or management to keep your prices competitive with your competitors. And that is a very hard thing to do in inflationary times, because what's happening is you don't want to be the first one to raise your prices in the fear of, a lot of people in management have this fear that you're going to lose a customer to another competitor, right? And what can happen is your margins get squeezed so fast, before you know it, you're now out of business. And it's a very interesting thing, especially as inflation spikes. If you don't have a lot of money in your treasury as a company, then what happens is literally 1 month of inflated meat prices could take you out. And that's what's really vital for companies to understand right now. Have that policy and procedures manual in place. Have money off to the side for emergencies or for rising prices, and a plan if that happens. Sorry, I got to throw these on. It's getting bright out here. All right. Now, he said George didn't explain, the vice president didn't explain what challenging time meant, and it was and if it was due to rampant inflation pressuring operating margins. However, quite frankly, I believe that could be it. Then there's this long list, and you guys have got to see it. If you have not seen this list of manufacturing or processing facilities for both produce and food in general, either burning down or a weird explosion or just a closure, it is absolutely staggering. It's a list of 100 places since January in this country. And I'll just run off a couple of them. A fire that destroyed 75,000 square foot processing plant in Fayetteville. A fire that ignited inside Smith Foods pork processing plant. A 5-alarm fire that ripped through a butter plant. It's just a staggering list. You guys have got to check it out. Obviously, the largest pork company in the U.S. shuts down operations in California due to high costs. That was just recently. We covered that the other day. It is absolutely staggering the amount of places that have closed, so I want you guys to check it out. And then at the end here, it says, meanwhile, in London, Ontario, Aspire Food Group recently announced that its new insect production facility would produce 9,000 metric tons of crickets yearly for human and pet consumption across North America. Now, I got to stop right there and say that I think that this is absolutely horrendous and atrocious. I think that people being expected to eat insects is mind-boggling. But the sad thing is, as industry builds up, as companies get larger when it comes to food production, it's very easy to just flip a switch. And I want people to realize what I'm saying here. First off, it is very important that you secure your own food. Right now, for a very serious event that's coming, it's already started this summer, going into the fall, a food shortage, and I'm not joking, a famine. I cannot be more clear about this. Secure that food now, secure a year's worth of food, all right? And if you don't know how to figure out a year's worth of food, it's actually quite simple. Think about making a big old salad, like a bean salad. I give an example where you take, you know, cans of garbanzo beans, green beans, kidney beans, some onion and things like that. And then, and you might have to, you know, when you're storing onion, you store dried onion, right? And then you go, okay, how much of this can I just put into little bowls and survive off of and be happy? Honestly, I like bean salad, quite frankly. A little bit of Italian salad dressing on it or oil and vinegar. I love it. Salt and pepper. And you go, how many of these cans do I need for, you know, 4 or 5 days worth of food? And then you literally you multiply that out against a year. I'm not saying eat bean salad all year, but you know what I'm saying? Like you go, okay, well, let me get some pasta sauce that stores for a couple years and a thing of pasta. Well, that's, you know, 2 meals, 3 meals right there. And start thinking, I know it sounds crazy, but during hard times, you don't eat 3 meals a day, if that makes sense. You need to figure that out right now. But on top of that, you need to be able to start growing your own food. You need to be able to know people around that you're like, hey, can I buy, you know, animals from you, things like that. This isn't a go hide in the caves and hunker down kind of scenario. I want people to understand that. For anybody that has that kind of mentality, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna go survive and run into the caves, you're gonna be missing out on an amazing opportunity to grow wealth. And for anybody who would think, oh, you know, you just want to take advantage of this. Well, you know, you're right. Smart one. Good job. And honestly, anyone should be taking advantage of this because there are so many people around this world that not only are not going to get prepared because they almost think it's too cool not to get prepared, right? Because they think that the people that are prepping are either nerds or crazy, right? But there's people that just don't even want to believe it. They just don't want to believe it. And so I want you to understand that it is your job, that if you see this opportunity coming to grow wealth because people are gonna literally walk away from homes, they're going to lose things because they rolled their eyes at those that warned. We're trying to warn everybody we can. That's why I'm on YouTube doing this, right? And every time you share this video, you're doing your part to warn other people, right? Say, hey, you should get some food off to the side. Like they're literally flipping a switch. It's literally that easy. When you have these monopolies built up, they can do that. They can control the masses, right? But we're gonna say, no, we're not gonna be controlled because we're not gonna be in debt. We're gonna take advantage of this. We're gonna get wealthy and then we're gonna be good human beings with that money. Sorry, these planes are flying over like, it's crazy how many planes are cruising over right now. And you wanna be good people with that money and you wanna be good to other human beings. So it's time to rise up. And how do you rise up? You get prepared, you're not scared. And if you are scared, you use that fear to prepare even more. But this isn't a defeatist mentality. This is an opportunity that's coming. I want you to understand that. There's a lot of YouTubers on YouTube, oh man, that's too bright, that are sitting there selling fear and like doom and gloom. Yeah, cool. If that gets the views, whatever. This is an opportunity and you should be taking it and thanking the Lord that you got this opportunity to get ahead in life. And it takes hard times to make real wealth. And it takes hard times to define who you are as a man or a woman. Oh man, I said those 2 words. That's right, that's all there is. Man or a woman. We're going to have hard times that are going to define us. They're going to make us wealthy if we're prepared and we're not scared. Guys, this is what Ninja Nation's all about. I hope you got something out of this. If you've thought about subscribing, please hit the thumbs up button. I'm in one of those interesting lull periods. We're not going to say any shadow. I'm afraid of my own shadow sometimes. But I'm just saying we're in a lull. So guys, I thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. I have the greatest group of people coming alongside of me right now around the world. It's called Ninja Nation. Why? Because you're scared and not prepared. That being said, guys, the Economic Ninja is out.